Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Professionals Daily Devotion with Olasukom Yokwaifa. And we believe we inspire you to be more here. As we said yesterday, that we're having our master class today, and we're looking at building mental roadmaps. And today, the first thing we're going to be doing is to look at how to reference past pattern, such that we are going to learn from it, okay? Not to linger there. Of course, you've been advised to forget the past and move on. Fantastic. It works in some cases where you forget the past and then you move on. But in most cases, it's always good for you to even take your own personal time, not calling PT party now, your own time, your own me time. Go into your corner and then brood over it a little bit. Check what happened there and then do. So, how do you go about that? We are going to be talking about it very soon. But let's have our introduction, okay? You don't go to the past to stay there, you go to the past to study it. And when you study it, you realize that there is a particular way you respond under pressure. There's a particular way you handle success. There's a particular way you treat opportunities. There's a particular way you treat conversation. There's a particular way you treat disappointment. All these things put together are actually teaching you one thing. Okay, one thing, how to forge ahead and how to do it better. And the question is, have you been learning from your past? Okay, so all this together are the things you see. Now, let me tell you, it is research, it is backed by research by University of Southern California says that leaders who frequently reflect on their past experiences make 23 more effective decisions and are better at pattern recognition. You understand when they see this particular direction. I've gone through a particular series in the last 2 months that somebody called me and said, this is assessing. When you hear people talk like that, this is exactly what will happen. And exactly by 3 or 4 hours, the person called me back and see what the person said. No, I mean, in these 2 months that I've been in this particular situation, I know once we hear that sound, okay, just know that this is the direction they are going. And then that was like, wow, that's it. I mean, and the person also used it elsewhere and said, are you sure this person is not like this? And then 2 days after, they, are you a witch? So, because over time, you have gone experience in the past have already entered into your system away. We don't want to learn from it. All right. MIT Sloan School shows that structured post motems in business can increase future project success by over 30%. So learn to reflect, not to repeat. So let's look at a framework this morning on how to reference our past pattern, how to reference past pattern. So we are going to be using past, okay, PAST as the framework. So the first one is if you want to learn from your past pattern is to pause. Most of the time we find ourselves repeating our past unknowingly thinking we are progressing. So pause and ask yourself why. I mean, ask yourself, I don't want to jump into the next one. Okay, pause. Let me just take it there. Okay, pause. Take intentional time to now start reflecting and start reviewing. Somebody has said that if you find yourself going in the wrong direction, the best time to stop is now. Is to stop now and then you trace yourself. Because the farther you go, the more confused you are likely to get. So don't rush past the past. Okay, just pause at that moment because you want to check yourself. Okay, always have that pause in time, that reflection time. It helps you a lot. Then the next question, when you pause, what you do is to ask why. That is the A. P. Pause. A. Ask why. Why did I go wrong? Why did I go right? Why did I take that decision last week? Why did I do it this way? Why did I delay in doing things and then it resulted into this? Okay, find out all those things around yourself. Ask why all the time. Always ask why. Okay, why have they decided to increase my salary, even though I've not asked for it, or maybe they want more? Okay, why are they not accepting my proposal? Okay, you just want to ask why. Okay, why am I angry? Why did I do it in that particular direction? Just to reflect personally in yourself. Okay, you just it's a question you just can just answer. So when you do that, it helps you to do the next thing, spot the pattern, because you kept on asking why. Every time you ask why with A, you're asking why with B. You realize that okay, the same why, the same reason you give for this, probably the same reason you give for this, and you realize that okay, most of the time, anytime I'm overwhelmed or anytime I'm under anxiety, the boss had already called me to bring my file and have not submitted, and somebody walked past me and I now latch on that person. You discover that when you procrastinate, you get overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you lose your emotion on people. You are already on, okay, by the time you say, why did I react that way? You say you are overwhelmed. Why was I overwhelmed? You realize that, okay, I was this. You keep on asking that why until you get to the root. It's a principle. Keep on asking. By the time you ask about 5 whys, you get there. So that's why now will now teach you to understand the pattern. Then you can know how to correct it at the end. I mean, let me talk about my health at a particular time. At a particular time, I realized that I used to have a headache after a particular endeavor, especially at work. At work, I realized, okay, after this particular period, I will have headache. Then I have to ask my question, okay, what is that pattern? And luckily, one day I was able to take breakfast before I started my work that day, and I discovered that I was very effective, much more than any other time. And I realized that, oh, I think my health was going. I needed to just create a new pattern around myself, around my daily schedule, to be sure that breakfast will be my first period. And so, but that is just around health. What of other things, success around you and the rest? So spot the pattern there. So I think I must have jumped this anyway. But so when you ask why, then you now spot the pattern. All right, okay, so that you would not find yourself repeating the same mistake again. You now spot the pattern. Okay, this is the direction. I can either keep on repeating this to have the same result, or I can change to see if I need a new result. So P is pause, A is ask why, S, while you are now asking why will help to spot the pattern. So when you spot the pattern there, you now do the T, turn it into a tool. Once you see it, use it. Becomes what you now do. I mean, you can now write a book out of it. I can write a book now, how a teacher can be very effective taking care of his health. Yes, because I've been there. I've used my health in a very funny way. I mean, I can tell you what you can do to become a successful teacher and a very effective one, and you will not get yourself burnt out. Don't come to my DM to ask me to do anything for now. All right, maybe I'll do a master class on that, how to avoid burnout as a teacher. All right, so turn it into a tool that you can use. Pattern seen is a lesson gained. Any pattern you are able to see, you have gained something. Don't ignore it. And it could be a pattern also. I mean, people talk about pattern. I don't want to go into that depth of that, of spiritual patterns and other things, okay? But any pattern you have already seen is a lesson gained. You want to check what is the cause and then redirect yourself. Adjust your decision, adjust your routine, adjust your relationship accordingly. And you see that you have just taken the right decision for yourself. So that's how to learn and how to reference past, okay? After every difficult season, do you isolate yourself or do you overwork? Okay, you have already gone through things. I mean, these are questions to reflect on. When success comes, do you plan or you plateau? Okay, how do you typically handle criticism? Those are the questions you want to ask yourself. And your call to action is pick one aspect of your life, relationship, career, personal goal, anything, and pause. Reflect over your last 12 months, reflect over your last 24 months, and see whether there are recurring patterns that you are not satisfied with, and then you want to make the right decision. So let's take our words of affirmation this morning, as we call it a beautiful day. Tomorrow, we're going to be looking at own a thinking model, how to own a thinking model when you have already gotten this direction there. So say it after me and let's mean it. My past is not my prison, it is my power source. I extract lessons and I build forward with wisdom. Thank you very much for joining this morning. I will appreciate your comment. I will appreciate your likes. I will appreciate your shares. Okay, and tomorrow again, we see where we look into this. So let me use the opportunity to announce that Phenomenon 3.0, a conference for teachers, especially in Abuja, is coming up on June 28th. It's absolutely free, but you need to register. So I'm going to be making a post today. Please watch out for it and please register. When you register, bring your ticket to the venue. We scan it and you have fast access into the house, will not be on the queue. But if you want to come and be on the queue, of course, the line is still there. We'll wait for you. So thank you. Phenomenon 3.0 will be coming, and it is tagged above and beyond, raising entrepreneurial thinking teachers. So I'll keep on announcing that every day here because we want you to join and be a successful teacher. And if you're not a teacher, you want to learn how to be an entrepreneurial thinking person,